first time trying this on YouTube. So thanks for coming. I'm going to give a moment because I did post on my Instagram as well that I'll be going live on YouTube. All right, but I just want to hop on in, and my goal this conversation is to talk about what's really going on, not necessarily what you're seeing on TikTok or Instagram. I wanted to have that conversation with you to to quiet the economic noise so you can have an understanding of what's really happening in the mortgage market. So, the first thing that I want you to understand when it comes to mortgage interest rates, the mortgage market, as soon as the Federal Reserve makes an announcement that they're going to be making some changes, the mortgage rates change immediately because we're moving not directly correlated with when the Federal Reserve rate drops. So when the Federal Reserve rate actually decreases, mortgage rates have already come down. So it's really important to move at the speed of instruction if you want to be able to be that person that can capture and take advantage of the really low rates or the lower rates that are available. So right now there is a lot of conversation on, is it a good time to buy? Is it better to rent? Let me be fully transparent with you. This is a time in history where upfront it is more expensive to rent. Excuse me, it is more expensive to purchase than to rent. So when you consider the interest rate, the down payment, the cost of, your closing costs, it is expensive to buy a house right now. But I want to make you aware that the reason why you're buying is because you're doing it for your future self. Because we all know at this point, when we look back, we're always like, man, I wish I had a bought then. And that's why you buy now, for that conversation of, I wish I would have bought now opposed to down the road. Because things are going to continue to change, which is going to make an impact. And you want to make sure that you are not stealing wealth from your future self. Because that's what you're doing. You're building wealth for your future self. Hi there, cool videos. Thanks for joining. So that's why you're buying a house now. But there are some numbers, break even numbers that you can do and look at to make sure that it's a good idea for you, right? When you're getting pre-approved upfront, purchasing a home within your purchasing power. Or if you're going to go higher than what you're comfortable with, you want to make sure then you have what? The mindset to know my plan. My plan is that I know I'm going to do this, so I need to make sure I'm living below my means because this is the plan that I'm making for my future self. And I know it's really challenging to think about your future self. I'm sitting here at 41 years old, like, man, I'm so happy I bet on my future when I was in my 20s and I bought a house when everyone said it was dumb and it didn't make sense because I was paying very low rent. I was living in subsidized housing, but that allowed me to be able to build equity, build appreciation. Albert Einstein says that the appreciation is the eighth wonder of the world. And that's because that appreciation allows you to grow wealth at exponential numbers that you won't be able to usually do when you're just putting money away in your savings account. And I'm going to tell you about just saving regularly. When you can get to it, problems tend to show up to eat that up. So I learned this strategy from my mother. I say my money's already spent because I'm telling my money where it's going to go. So where it's going, even though it's not going anywhere for a problem, it's going so that I can buy stocks, I can buy bonds. I'm able to put money into an account that I've designated for my vacation. That money's spent. So now I have to rely on the strategy of making more money because cash flow is so important in these types of markets right now. So I really wanted to get on because I've heard all types of conversations surrounding what's really happening with the Fed talk, and then, is the market going to collapse? Those are the conversations that we hear over and over again. And the truth is, the market is not going to collapse. Home prices are still increasing because of supply and demand. We don't have enough houses. So home prices are still increasing. Now, they are not increasing as quickly as they were. And I'll let you in on a secret. Guess what? Houses are not appraising at what realtors have listed prices at. So because of that, you may be able to fill and take advantage of the lower rate and get a house lower than what was initially posted. But again, that's because supply and demand. And that's the economic side to these moves that we're seeing in the market. So I shared with you that yes, buying a home is more expensive up front, right? And when people hear that, that might slow them down from buying. But there's ways to combat that. In this market, there's more grants being given than ever before, and large grants. The bank that I work for, Dover Federal Credit Union, we participate in the First Front Door program. This is grant for over $20,000 that you can get. $15,000 on the second round of funding, but you have to be pre-approved and ready to go. And the larger grants are designed for individuals who are low to moderate income. So, you can't be needy and greedy at the same time. I just want to make sure that I covered the things. Oh, this market is about strategy, not fear. Wealth is built when you understand timing, leverage, and patience. And this window is quiet but powerful. And that's what I mean. There's a lot of noise happening. But if you listen and take advantage of your plan and strategy, you will win. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I hadn't had one of those Miss Cooper Home Loans firm conversations and talking really about not just the positives of it. I believe in SWOT analysis. So when I went to college, one of the things I learned in business school was a SWOT analysis. And SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And an individual or business that can look at weaknesses and look at threats and still decide to move forward is powerful, because you're able to go in with your eyes wide open. You're able to strategize, and you don't have to just see the rosy glasses and just see the strengths and the opportunities in order to move, because every day is not going to be great. You're going to be faced with competition. You're going to be faced with weaknesses. But if you are prepared for them, you're going to make it longer. And I'm a living witness of that. All right. Have a great day. Thanks for joining, and make sure you subscribe and like this video.